Welcome to another Fake Amp Friday where we try out a fake amp. Today I want to show you a newer amp modeler that's making buzz in pockets of the guitar community on the internet, and this one happens to be completely free. I'm talking about the Neural Amp Modeler plugin by Steven Atkinson. This plugin utilizes AI and deep learning to create highly accurate models of guitar amplifiers. People are claiming it sounds as good, if not better, than the Quad Cortex, the Helix, the FM9, the Kemper, the you name it. If this free plugin sounds as good as those expensive units, then like, what is that gonna do to the entire amp modeling industry? So let's find out if this one fake amp is indeed the fake amp to rule them all. This will be my initial impressions of the Neural Amp Modeling plugin. I'm using my Telecaster and I'm just going direct in. Let's pull something up and see what we get. Turns out there's no stock sound, so I went ahead on ToneHunt and downloaded a couple things. We'll get to that later in the video, but for now, the tone test. This is a Fender Tweed Deluxe. Okay. Wow, actually sounds really good. That sounds really real. This is the first time I ever plugged into one of these and been like, wow. I pulled up an AC30 Top Boost Crunch sound. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a box. Crazy. I pulled up a Tone King Imperial, and honestly I know nothing about this amp other than that Paul David uses one. I like it. Sounds great too. Like, I love how rich it is, and this is that edge of breakup tone that's so hard to give a digital. Well, this experience was way different than my initial experience with ToneX. Oh gosh. From the first strum, I was completely impressed. And maybe that's because this plugin makes you use third-party stuff, so I just went with the tried and true creator, Amalgam Audio, to start with. But I can't remember ever plugging into a fake amp and being genuinely excited about how good it sounded out of the gate. I didn't have to mess with a bunch of settings, I didn't have to sort through a bunch of different amps to find my sound. I just plugged in and the first thing I pulled up was great. It feels really good, the dynamic response is really good, and tone-wise, this is pretty next level. I don't know, homies. The hype might be real for this one. This really could be the best sounding modeling amp out there right now, but we'll save that shootout for a future video. Very similar to ToneX's ToneNet, the Neural Amp Modeler has its own site called ToneHunt with literally thousands of amps, IRs, and pedals. While not as intuitive as ToneNet, the website wasn't too complicated to figure out. There's a sorting feature to help you find amps, pedals, full rigs, IRs, and outboards. You can sort by popularity and see how many stars or downloads a particular amp might have. There's a search bar so you could search a specific amp or a sound or creator, whatever it is you're looking for. It's an efficient system, and I actually really like all the colors. It reminds me of my Quad Cortex. Once you find something you like, you just press download and then save it to a particular area on your computer. I made my own folder called NAM models, that way I could pull it up faster when I'm using the plugin. That's pretty much it. Once you've got your sounds downloaded, using NAM is super easy. First, you load up your DAW and set the sample rate to 48K. That's important because the plugin is built to run at 48K, but never fear, if you're not there, the plugin will tell you. Then create an audio track, then set the input, then add the plugin. When you open up the plugin, the first bar on the bottom is how you'll select the amp. Click on the folder and navigate to wherever you've saved your sounds from ToneHunt and go ahead and select the one you want. The next bar just below it is the IR loader. This is like our cab. So we're gonna click select IR, then choose our desired IR for the amp. Finally, you drop a like on the video and you subscribe to the channel. That part is obviously optional, but would be greatly appreciated. And then you're off to the races. Obviously we know the amp sounds are fantastic in this thing, but what Bailey and I want to know is how does it fare with pedals? So to try it out, I'm gonna run my pedal board directly into the plugin and see what we get. can't speak for you, but Bailey and I are pretty impressed. Once again, the modeling plugin handled my pedal board just like the real thing. Bailey wants to keep playing with it. Now that we've got a decent feel for this thing, let's talk about the pros and cons. Number one, the sound quality on this thing is insane. It definitely rivals the best amp modelers on the market. If someone recorded something with this and told me it was a real amp or they were using one of those many expensive modelers available, I would 100% believe them. What I wouldn't believe is that that sound came from a 100% free plugin. Number two, this plugin is completely free. You can go straight to the Neural Amp Modeling website and just download it, no strings attached. Then the freebies continue on ToneHunt. You can literally download thousands of amps, IRs, and pedals also for free. Let's be honest. With inflation rates as high as they are, this is the first piece of guitar gear your girlfriend, your mom, your wife, your boyfriend, your pocketbook, your pastor, your whatever can get excited about. Number three, it handles pedals really well. I just plugged my pedal board directly through an Apogee Duet. I had no gain on the mic pre's, straight into Logic Pro. I threw the plugin on and the amps I wanted, and I was off to the races. I didn't have clipping problems or any need to fuss around with the input gain, but they do have that control available to you in case your signal is particularly hot or it's not hitting the amp the right way. It's very easy to use. You just turn it up or down so that you can hit the amp just right. Now for the cons. Number one, there's no direct link between the Neural Amp Modeling plugin and the ToneHunt website. Unlike with ToneX, where it's all built in the same platform, you just click ToneNet and you're there. You're gonna have to open up your web browser, go to the ToneHunt website, scroll and figure out what you want, download it, then open up your DAW, then go to the plugin, and then find the thing you just downloaded, insert it there, and then try it out. There doesn't appear to be an auditioning tool like ToneNet, where you can click on the tone model you're thinking about downloading, play with your guitar. If it's not it, just scroll to the next one. You don't have to waste time downloading things. Second con is that it's only available in software form, not as a standalone pedal. So if you were trying to gig with this thing, you could do it. You could bring your computer, load it up in the DAW, run your pedal board through an audio interface into the computer, and then have the computer output run through that audio interface back to the house. But that's a lot of equipment to bring, and I feel like the whole point of modeling is that you don't have to bring so much stuff. So for now, I think this is really an at-home studio use kind of thing. My third con is that this plugin seems to draw a significant amount of CPU. Now, there is an asterisk on this. It might be because it's August and it's 87 degrees out and my computer is struggling to do normal things, but I didn't run into this problem with the ToneX plugin. Seems like when I have 3 or 4 instances of it pulled up in my Logic session, it's not a problem. But when I started expanding to like 15, 20 different instances, my CPU was maxing out very quickly. But it is a little annoying. But then again, you may just have like a really high-powered computer and you won't even have this problem. The technology of amp modeling is in such a cool place now. Can you imagine if just 10 years ago someone told you there would be a free amp modeling plugin that would be able to perfectly emulate your favorite amp? And look, I know a few are gonna be like, it doesn't sound as good as a real amp. Okay, I hear you, but you get what I'm saying. It does sound really good. 10 years ago, it was considered sacrilege to be using a solid state amp over a tube amp. Does anyone remember that? That was a whole thing. Anyway, I'm excited, and I never thought I would say that about amp modeling. I was very tried and true tube amp or die. And truthfully, I'm starting to think that the Neural Amp Modeler is the most realistic fake amp I've ever played. Hey Bailey, do you think that this plugin sounds better than like the Quad Cortex and the ToneX and the Kemper and all that?
I mean, it sounded pretty good. I don't know if it's the best. I think Bubba better make a video so we can know for sure.
Is the Neural Amp Modeler the one fake amp to rule them all? Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Be sure to leave a like on the video before you head out and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I will catch you next time. It's 87 degrees out and I have to put pants on to film this next part, and it's way too hot for this. Bailey, what are you doing by a real amp, huh?
What can I say? I'm a tube amp girl.